Hello and welcome back. Before we can test the sign up feature, there are two things that we need to do. If we go to our auth service, we go to .env, you can see here we have an empty cloud name, empty cloud API key, empty cloud API secret, and also we would need to set up the config or use the configuration. These properties right here in our code. So first we go to the browser, and then I believe you must have created an account on Cloudinary. Okay, so go ahead, create an account on Cloudinary, and then once you log in, you should see this page. Okay, if you don't, click here on this icon, and then you go to dashboard. Okay, yeah, this is an account that I use just for testing. Okay, so that is why you see here I already have some information, or it's already being used. Now what we want to get these three properties. Okay, so get your cloud name right here. You should be able to see the cloud name on the dashboard. So get the cloud name, paste it here, get your API key, paste it here, and get your API secrets. Okay, I think we can regenerate this later as well. So get these three properties. Okay, I think I'm going to try to see how I can regenerate it. Okay, so go ahead, add those three properties into your environment file, and then go to your config.ts file. Now in the config.ts file, we need to set up a Cloudinary with our configuration. Okay, so down after your constructor, we can create a function. I'll call this public Cloudinary config. So the function is going to be public and Cloudinary config, returns void. Okay, so we need to set up the Cloudinary configuration. Okay, we can do that by importing Cloudinary. Okay, or Cloudinary from Cloudinary. Okay, so import it, and now what we need to do is here inside this function we say cloudinary.v2.config. so this will enable us set the config, and the configuration we want to set is cloud name. Now because we are already inside this class and the properties are set in the constructor, we can use this.cloud name. Okay, and then API underscore key will be this.cloud API key, and then lastly API underscore secret will be this.cloud API secret. Okay, so you need to add this cloudinary.v2.config. Now let's go ahead and use it. Okay, so we are going to use it in our app.ts file. Okay, so go to your app.ts file. Okay, and here inside the initialize you can call config. Okay, so import config dot then Cloudinary config. Okay, so with this our application should be able to access Cloudinary API. Okay, so make sure you add that. So that is what we need to do. Now in order for us to test this, you can use any tool you want. You can use Postman, or you can use Insomnia, whatever you want to use. But for me, I prefer using REST client. Okay, because it's just easy to set up. I don't have to install Postman or Insomnia or whatever. So you can go here. If you're using VS Code, if you're not using VS Code, maybe you can install Postman. Okay, so here you can search for REST clients. Okay, so I have it already installed. So this is the one here. You can install it, and then this will allow us to make HTTP requests from VS Code. I just like using it. Okay, so it's just my personal preference. You can go ahead. There are other tools you can see here. You have Thunderbolt. If you can try it out, or if you already have Postman installed or Insomnia installed, you can try them out as well. So go ahead and install this REST client. Okay, now for us to use this, I will create a folder. Let me create it here in the root. I'll call this API call or API calls, okay, as a folder. So inside here, this is where I'm going to define all the APIs, okay, that we are going to call. So the first is going to be the auth dot. The file needs to have the .http extension. Okay, so whatever file you are you want to use, it needs to have the .http extension. Now let's define. Let's set it up. Okay, so our sign up request is a post request. So here I will define a base URL, and it's equal to http /localhost 4000. Yeah, there's a mistake in the name of this file. It's supposed to be http, not http. So http. Okay, yeah, now this makes sense. Now this is the endpoint or the host for API gateway. Okay, so and then we can add URL paths. Okay, so the URL path is going to be API, okay, /v1/gateway. Okay, so this is the API path. I think you can add /auth here as well. So this is for the auth service. Now let us define the first request. To define your first request, you add the verb. The verb is post because it's the sign up and it's a post request. And then we use our base URL /URL path, then /sign up. Okay, now this requires some other properties. I'll set content type. This will be application /JSON. Accept application /JSON, and then with credentials, I'll set it to true. Okay, now because I always make mistake with this credentials. Now because this is a post request and it requires the data to be passed to the body. And how do we do that? We just create an object. And what do we need to send? We need a username. Okay, so you can add any username you want. We need email. Okay, so you add your email. This is just for testing. Okay, test.com. And then we need password. You can add your password. Okay, we need the country information. You can set any country. Okay, and now we need the profile picture. Remember, the profile picture will be a base 64. Okay, so in this video I added a text file, a TXT file. You can download it, copy the content of that TXT file. It's just an image converted to base 64, and then you paste it right here. Okay, you paste it right here. Okay, so download the TXT file and then paste it right here. But before I test this, let me try to make a request directly to the auth service. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. So now this is the endpoint for the auth service. I need to change this. Okay, because the auth service is /API/v1/auth. Okay, so now let's make this request directly to the API. Okay, so I'll try to make a request. Click on this send request right here, and there's a mistake here. We don't need this @ symbol. We don't need them here. Okay, so just go ahead. Let me try it. Remove the @ symbol here, and then let's try this. Let's see. Now it says 401 unauthorized. Now you can see the error message. It says invalid request 401. The status error coming from verify gateway request method. Request not coming from API gateway. Okay, because we are sending directly the request to the auth service and not coming from the API gateway. Now you could bypass that by just creating a token and adding it here, but for now we are not doing that. We'll just make the request directly from our service, okay, API gateway, instead of directly to the auth service. Okay, you have seen the error. Okay, now if I go to, let me go to the streams. Now you can see on Kibana right here, you can see we have the error message. Okay, if I view details, you should be able to see more information about the errors or the error itself. Okay, so you can see it says a request not coming from API gateway, invalid request and all that. Okay, so you can see now that it's working. It's just for security purposes, so we don't send a request directly to the service. So now I've changed the endpoint, the port, to use the port of the API gateway. Let's try this. Hopefully it works. Okay, it says for, okay, yeah, I need to change this /gateway/auth. Okay, and then send the request. Okay, it says the endpoint does not exist. Maybe I made a mistake, so I have to just find out. Okay, so right now it's not working. It's saying not found. So I'll stop the video here. In the next video, I'll show you how probably how it works, because I have to find a fix. I'll just find out why it's not working. It's probably because of maybe one typo or something. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.